Through your generosity, the annual Catholic Appeal continues to serve our community.
I'm Diane Murray of Rick's Place. Rick Thorpe was a Wilbraham native who died on 9/11. In his honor, Rick's Place helps children and families suffering the loss of a loved one, all made possible through the annual Catholic Appeal.
The annual Catholic Appeal, assisting our neighbors here in Western Massachusetts. Visit diospringfield.org and make your donation today. Thank you for your support.
It is with great sadness that the staff of Catholic Communications dedicates both our Reel-to-Reel and Chalice of Salvation programs this weekend in loving memory of Father Vernon Dakota, who passed away last Wednesday night. Not just a great pastor, Father Vern was also among the organizers for the Singing Priest benefit concerts in recent years. For all his many efforts, we say, well done, good man, and may you rest in the peace of Christ, whom you have served so faithfully. Coming up on this edition of Reel to Reel.
I'm Peggy Weber, and I'll be bringing you the story of the 10th anniversary of Legatus.
I'm David Martin. I'll have the story of St. Mark Church and Parish, which on the Feast of St. Mark celebrated the cultural diversity of its parish.
And celebrating a century of providing compassionate care. These stories and more are just ahead on this edition of Reel to Reel. Hello and welcome to Reel on this first Sunday in June. We begin the program today going back a century to 1916, when Woodrow Wilson was president. The National Park Service was founded. The cost of a stamp, 2 cents. The Red Sox won the World Series, and St. Luke's Rest Home in Springfield was founded. A milestone recently marked by a celebratory Mass with Bishop Mitchell Rosansky. 100 years ago, the city of Springfield was bustling with industry, and young women were seeking work in its factories and businesses. The young women who were beginning their careers needed a place to live outside their parents' home.
Many young women in those days, just as they are today, want to do things on their own, and so it was very safe for them to live with the sisters. So it was okay to go and live at St. Luke's home, because that's where the sisters were. The sisters lived here with the residents.
Those sisters were the Sisters of Providence, who founded St. Luke's Home in 1916 as a residence for working women, originally located in a building next to St. Michael's Cathedral on State Street in Springfield. Sister Noonan gave this historical reflection during the May 10th program marking the 100th anniversary of St. Luke's. Springfield Bishop Mitchell Rosansky celebrated a special Mass in the chapel of the current St. Luke's residence at 85 Spring Street.
And over these 100 years, in different ways, including up to our own present day, St. Luke's Home continues to be a place of welcome, a place of light, of refreshment, and all of those who work along with the Sisters of Providence really provide for its residents a place that's truly a home.
The present location for St. Luke's was established in 1916 under the direction of then-Bishop Thomas Bevan. It was the second of 2 locations that were operated under the name of St. Luke's and St. Luke's Home for Working Girls. The original brochure advertised the residence as being convenient to area businesses, offering wholesome home-cooked food. Many of the rooms had running hot and cold water. And of course, a lovely rooftop garden once provided a quiet and restful atmosphere after a busy day. In the 1960s, St. Luke's transitioned into a home for elderly women. Today, the 89 residents range in age from 50 to 90 and come from all walks of life with a variety of life experiences. There's nearly an even split between men and women, and many of the male residents are veterans. In his address during a reception following the Mass, Springfield Mayor Dominic Sarno praised the work done by the Sisters of Providence, providing compassionate care for 100 years.
And that's a testament to the Sisters of Providence. When sometimes people want to throw aside those who are challenged for whatever reason, that compassionate care that St. Luke's gives and continues to give, you can't put a price tag on that.
And St. Luke's is a member of the Mercy Continuing Care Network. Congratulations to St. Luke's for reaching this milestone and for continuing to provide such an important service to the community. While it was a decade ago when several area Catholic business leaders organized a Western Massachusetts chapter of Legatus, the group, whose focus is to be ambassadors for the faith in their community, has accomplished much in the past 10 years and recently celebrated this anniversary. Reel to Reel's Peggy Weber tells us more.
The 10th anniversary of Legatus was celebrated in a variety of ways recently. Most appropriately, the group began with prayer and a special Mass with Monsignor Christopher Connolly, the group's chaplain, and Bishop Sam Jacobs from Louisiana, the international chaplain for Legatus. Both praised Legatus and the support it offers executives as they try and live out their faith in the marketplace.
I like Legatus because I see the value of gathering men and women who are influential in their own spheres and to help them grow in their own personal relationship with Jesus Christ and in their own understanding of their role as ambassadors. And that's what Legatus means, is an ambassador in the workplace, and to know that they can make a difference in their own business, but also in the community.
Larry Egan, co-president of Collins Electric, is the current president of the local chapter of Legatus. He and his wife are charter members, and he said the organization has enhanced his faith.
It's kind of been the icing of the cake. I think I had a nice foundation and a good base of Catholic upbringing, but Legatus is now, they've made me more confident to talk about my faith, to live my faith.
Larry says his parents and his uncle, the late Bill Collins, gave him great role modeling for his faith. He notes that he had joined a Young Presidents Club when he heard about Legatus and liked the idea of joining other executives interested in enriching their faith. He says Legatus has been another model for him.
In general, American people have gotten away from practicing faith, so to see someone that's, I don't know if I categorize myself as devout, but I'm working towards that I'm very serious about my faith, and I think people are intrigued by that, to see that someone who's a busy person, that I have 4 children, and run a business here, that I have time for faith.
Larry says he often wears his Legatus pin, and it often leads to talking about his faith.
It means a lot to myself and my wife, because it's an organization where you join as a couple, and we kind of jokingly call it date night.
Being in the boardroom is about business, but the members of Legatus also believe that being here in the workplace is also about their faith. Legatus was started by former Domino Pizza founder Tom Monahan in 1987 to create an organization for Catholic businessmen. To date, there are 80 chapters, and the Western Mass chapter has the great distinction of being able to charter with 20 founding members at its first event. It also has 4 permanent deacons as members. Deacon Steve Marcus organized the chapter in the Diocese of Springfield.
It's an opportunity to get together with like-minded people, where we can wear our faith on our collar, where we can turn to other people for support, guidance, and recommendation. It's a phenomenal group of men and women, Catholic executives, who truly live their faith within the marketplace.
Throughout the 10 years, the Legatus chapter in Western Mass has met about 8 times a year. They have heard talks from Cardinal O'Malley, Bishop McDonnell, Bishop Rosansky, and the late Father Benedict Rochelle. They've had picnics, Christmas parties, and formed a strong relationship with Sister Olga, the foundress of a new religious community. Her sisters sang for the anniversary Mass. The organization has offered retreats, pilgrimages, and other faith-based opportunities. Deacon Steve said he served on the international level of Legatus and had the opportunity to have breakfast with the late Supreme Court Justice Antonin Scalia. Monsignor Connolly praised the group's consistent promotion of Catholic values.
I think of the leaders that we see that come to Legatus, obviously in leadership positions there are great benefits, but I presume there are also some burdens. And the fact that the men and women can get together on an evening, socialize, discuss what's going on in their family life, in their business life, and above all, in their faith life, is a great benefit to their leadership.
Whether it is at Mass, at a dinner, or at work, the members of Legatus strive to enrich their world, guided by their faith. For Real to Real, I'm Peggy Weber.
Thanks, Peggy, and we wish Legatus and all of its members many more wonderful years of learning, faith, and community. And still to come on Real to Real, Dan Dumas with the latest news from the Diocese of Springfield. And a Pittsfield parish pays tribute to its patron saint. These stories and more are still to come on this edition of Real to Real.
The Chalice of Salvation, your spiritual connection. I'm Brother Terrence Scanlon, inviting you to join us this Sunday at the earlier hour of 6:30 a.m. for your Chalice program. This week we welcome back Father Mark Glover as our Mass presider and begin our Sundays in ordinary time. The Chalice of Salvation this Sunday morning at 6:30 right here on TV 22 News.
Through your generosity, the annual Catholic Appeal continues to serve our community.
I am Andres Lopez. Catholic Latino Ministry offers pastoral services to families throughout Western Mass. We are there for people in need of God's mercy and love, all made possible through the annual Catholic Appeal.
The annual Catholic Appeal, assisting our neighbors here in Western Massachusetts. Visit diospringfield.org and make your donation today. Thank you for your support.
I'm Dan Dumas with your Real to Real News Brief. As we continue with the Year of Mercy, the latest Holy Door was established recently at St. Teresa Parish in South Hadley. Rebecca Drake reports.
Members of St. Teresa of Lisieux Parish in South Hadley welcomed the Holy Spirit and Bishop Mitchell Rosansky as they celebrated the recent Feast of Pentecost. Before the 4 p.m. Saturday Vigil Mass, Bishop Rosansky blessed the parish's Year of Mercy Holy Door.
Grant that your faithful may pass through this gate and be welcomed into your presence, so that they may experience, Heavenly Father, your abundant mercy.
Worshippers joined with clergy in a candlelight procession into the church, which is one of 9 in the diocese designated by the bishop as pilgrimage sites during the Year of Mercy in the worldwide Catholic Church. During his homily, Bishop Rosansky explained the significance of the Holy Doors.
The Holy Doors that we bless remind us of life's journey, of the different passages of life, and passing through that door helps to remind us that we are on that journey to God's kingdom.
Father Michael Tuig, administrator of St. Teresa's, says having the Holy Door leading into the parish's atrium of the Holy Spirit creates an opportunity for both spiritual and social renewal.
And as we try to open up the center of the parish center to more activity, more presence, and as a place of social gathering, but also as a place of prayer.
Parishioner Donna Goudreau, wife of Deacon Thomas Goudreau, says the liturgy with the bishop and the blessing of the Holy Door highlight the importance of the Year of Mercy.
We had once heard that when we meet God, the only thing we're going to ask for is mercy. So to have this opportunity to ask for mercy and receive mercy during this year, it's just unbelievable.
And leading the way to the mercy of the Father, says Bishop Rosansky, is the Son, Jesus Christ.
May we, who have blessed this holy year to him, open the doors of our hearts to him, to his words, to his body and blood, to his life, so that we may be his faithful servants, and one day united with him forever in heaven.
And in other Year of Mercy news, the Diocese has announced a change of venue for the Diocesan Pilgrimage Day scheduled for September 10th. The new site will be Camp Holy Cross in Goshen and will feature both spiritual and recreational activities for all ages. Look for information in your parish later this month. The recent death of an Auburn police officer brings to mind once again the dedicated service our men and women in blue provide. That was the backdrop for a recent Blue Mass in Pittsfield. David Martin reports.
Firefighters, police officers, and EMTs worshiped together during the second annual Berkshire County Blue Mass at St. Joseph Church in Pittsfield. The Mass was celebrated by Pastor Monsignor Michael Strzanovich, chaplain for the Pittsfield Police Department, and Springfield Bishop Emeritus Timothy McDonald. Public safety professionals participated at various times during the Mass.
Prayer for first responders and EMTs. God, grant us the ability to give emergency care with skillful hands, knowledgeable minds, and tender loving care. Help us deal with everything when lives are on the line.
The Blue Mass, which was sponsored by the Knights of Columbus, Monsignor Eugene F. Marshall, Council 103, ended with a procession to the parish center for a reception and remarks by public safety personnel.
This is a perfect opportunity to interact one-on-one with our churches and be able to say, hey, you know, we appreciate you looking out for us, looking over us, and praying for us.
A ceremony of the missing person table took place to honor the nation's fallen heroes.
Those who swore on their lives to protect our values and defend our communities. We do it to honor and to remember them, for they are not with us anymore. This table, which is round, to show our everlasting commitment, will be set for all police officers, firefighters, and for all first responders, so that we may remember.
Bishop McDonald later offered a blessing. In Pittsfield, I'm David Martin.
In other news, the Springfield Police Department has a new Catholic chaplain, one familiar with working with law enforcement personnel, Father William Hamilton. Steve Giltonic reports.
On April 7th at the Springfield Police Department, Father William Hamilton was sworn in as the new chaplain of the Springfield Police Department. The oath of office was administered by Springfield Police Commissioner John Barbieri.
For the government of the police department thereof.
For the government of the police department thereof.
Congratulations and welcome on board our family. Thank you,
sir. Did I salute you?
No, just pray for me. I'll take that. That'll be awesome. Thank you very much.
Father Hamilton is no novice when it comes to the men and women in blue. He brings to the position over 20 years of experience as the chaplain of the Massachusetts State Police and 6 years experience as chaplain of the Bureau of Alcohol, Tobacco, and Firearms, New England Field Division. Commissioner Barbieri said it's important for the police to have a chaplain on board.
It's much more and beyond a simple prayer at the beginning of every event. It's to be there when a tragedy occurs and to assist us. It's to be there for families of victims and police officer families. It's to be that guidepost in the dark when officers feel that they're really lost. No, it's much more than a ceremonial position. There's a lot of hard work. It's a great service to have somebody around to assist with providing the answers in regards to God's wisdom and the ultimate plan, and some things are beyond human understanding.
Father Hamilton got involved in public safety after Pittsfield Police and an emergency medical team saved his life 36 years ago after being involved in a serious car accident shortly after being ordained.
And if it wasn't for them, I would not be here. So I made it my mission to give back to public safety in my ministry to help them in the stresses and the turmoils that they encounter and that they have to deal with each and every day to make sure that they go home safe.
Father Hamilton becomes only the third Springfield Police Department chaplain in the past 45 years. He replaces Father Jack Schaefer, who served for 7 years, and Father George Farland, who held the position for 38 years. In Springfield, I'm Steve Kiltonic.
Congratulations, Father Bill. Remember, you can always stay informed on all the happenings in the Catholic Church locally or beyond by logging on to our news and information website, iobserve.org. There you can read articles written by our Catholic communications staff, as well as view old episodes of Real to Real. That's iobserve.org. I'm Dan Dumas, and that's your Real to Real News Brief.
In the May-June issue of the Catholic Mirror, the focus on the sacrament of marriage begins with a special report on Amoris Laetitia, the joy of love, the Pope's recent apostolic exhortation on marriage and the family. With the heart of a pastor, the mind of a theologian, and the love of Christ, Pope Francis invites all church ministers to begin the work of strengthening Catholic marriages and families with the merciful act of listening to and not condemning those facing troubled marriages, poverty, and other struggles. In the cover story, newlywed couples and those married for many years share their thoughts on the importance of the sacrament and the need for prayers and support of each other and of other married couples. The guest commentary, written by Father Matthew Guidi, administrator of St. Mary of the Assumption Parish in Cheshire, offers a beautiful explanation of the gift that marriage is to spouses, their children, and the Christian community. And for those who have suffered broken marriages, one local woman wants to clear away the myths surrounding the process of annulment in the Catholic Church and share the joy she has found in returning to the full practice of her faith. In other local news, signs of the Year of Mercy can be found in the Springfield Diocese as interfaith groups in Westfield establish a food pantry for college students, and plans continue for a diocesan celebration on September 10th at Camp Holy Cross in Goshen. From Bishop Rosansky, we have a reflection on how God's grace works through couples who keep Him at the center of their lives. Like Pope Francis, I have never been married, nor have I had children, but I have rejoiced at every wedding, every baptism, every First Communion, and every confirmation of family members and friends, and those of their children and grandchildren. And I have supported them when marriages failed and when families faced losses and hardships along the way. Because, as people of faith, we know that God is always leading us to love, forgiveness, and ultimately to a happily ever hereafter. At the editor's desk, I'm Rebecca Drake.
St. Mark Parish in Pittsfield is known for its cultural diversity. Recently, that diversity was on display as all communities within that parish came together to celebrate the feast day of their patron saint, St. Mark. David Martin tells us more.
The Feast of St. Mark Mass began with the joyful sounds of the West African Choir from St. Mark Church in Pittsfield. Pastor, Father John Salatino, presented his homily in both Spanish and English. He told the congregation that St. Mark's Gospel tells them how to be good disciples and imitate Christ's sacrifice. Father John said there are many ways that parishioners support others during this Jubilee Year of Mercy, including sacrifices of time, money, and bringing in food before Mass to donate to the hungry.
That's how we preach the gospel, by making sacrifices. We're aware of that sacrifice that Jesus made for us on the cross, and we remind ourselves of it every time we celebrate the sacrifice of the Mass.
St. Mark's Church offers Masses in Spanish and West African, with music, reading, and responses in different languages such as French and Nzema. On holy days, all the communities come together to celebrate one Mass, and the diversity is highlighted within the liturgy. St. Mark parishioner Jeff Hunt is the church organist, who volunteered to help with music when the Spanish Mass was initiated.
And we get to know other people, and they try to help us learn some Spanish, and we try to help them learn English. And it's the meeting in the middle, which is, I mean, it's the art of Christianity. It's what it's all about. It's trying to meet people and find things that we agree on and find things where we meld. And it's just a great thing to see.
Jeff said the African community has also been an important influence in the parish because their music and dance has added much life to the celebration. The West African choir performs songs at various times during the Mass, singing in the Akan language, which is the primary dialect in Ghana. After Mass, the choir led a procession from the church to the Monsignor Johnson Parish Center. Parishioner Alfred Enchill is the president of the St. Mark African community.
This is wonderful because it shows that we are really part of the community and we've been welcomed by Father John. So this is wonderful, wonderful. My Lord is good. My Lord is good. My Lord is good. My Lord is
Alfred said more people are attending the West African Mass at his parish since it was initiated 2 years ago, when they discover it is a Catholic Mass that includes the music and traditions of Africa. The church communities were later able to socialize and celebrate together at a dinner held in the parish center. Parishioner Mary Ellen O'Connor said the proceeds went to 3 of the parish charities, the Food Pantry, the Guardian Angels Guild, which provides emergency financial assistance to people in the parish, and Meals on Wheels, which she cooks for.
There are an enormous number of people in this parish involved in the charities. That's one of the things we like so much about this parish is the community involvement. My feeling about this parish is it's a really happy parish, very joyful, and that's really nice. So, thank you.
Mary Ellen said when her parish hosts multicultural events, it is a chance to be inspired by the enthusiasm and holiness of the people from the other communities. For Real to Real, I'm David Martin.
And David tells us that the parishioners also had an opportunity to say goodbye to their pastor, Father John Salatino, who is leaving to perform missionary work in South America. Best wishes to Father Salatino as he begins his new spiritual journey. And for this week, that's Real to Real. Thanks so much for watching. And remember, Catholic Communications is sponsoring a pilgrimage to Mexico to the Shrine of Our Lady of Guadalupe this October. For more information on this trip or our 2017 planned pilgrimage to Fatima, log on to our website at iobserve.org. There you will also find the latest news on the Catholic Church locally and around the world. And also please friend us on our Facebook page. We are at Catholic Communications. Please join me again next week at this same time for another edition of Real to Real, your window on the world around you. See you then.
Real to Real is a production of the Catholic Communications Corporation, funded in part by the annual Catholic Appeal, and the support of you, our faithful viewers.
Through your generosity, the annual Catholic Appeal continues to serve our community.
Hello, we are Catholic school students from Western Massachusetts. More than 3,500 students benefit from a Catholic education. The annual Catholic Appeal provides tuition support to many families each year. Thank you for your support of Catholic education.
The annual Catholic Appeal, assisting our neighbors here in Western Massachusetts. Visit diospringfield.org and make your donation today. Thank you for your support.